you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. So every single month on this channel, if you haven't noticed, I try to come on here and tell you guys the things that I have been watching throughout the year, and that is because at the end of the year I like to come together and make a list of my favorite things that I watched, the things that didn't quite work for me, and also some things that made me like surprise me, all of that. But it's hard for me to keep track of that. It's hard for me to keep track of all that. I am only a woman. I am only a woman who is trying her best. So I want to come over here and tell you guys the best movies, the worst movies that I watch. Then you have the best TV and the worst TV that I watch. This is not a very passionate list. I think I just all around when it comes to the media that I consumed, I was very on all of it. Like nothing really blew me away. Like there were some things that I liked, but nothing was really just doing it for me like that. So we can get into my favorite TV shows of the year. My favorite TV show of the year was Hacks. I love the hell out of Hacks. Hacks is a show that comes on HBO Max. It is about this woman who is a struggling comedian and this writer who is a struggling writer who is young. They both come together and try to save this woman's comedy career. It is so good. It is so good. It has so much heart. I absolutely love it. When HBO Max was going through all that shit where they was canceling stuff left and right, if they took Hacks away from me, I would have cried. Jean Smart is so fucking brilliant. She's on this list twice, by the way, in a show, but she is so brilliant. I loved Hacks. My second favorite show of the year, also on HBO Max, The Rehearsal. The Rehearsal is a show, now I done forgot the guy's name, but The Rehearsal is about, basically, it's like a mockumentary about this guy who allows people to rehearse things in their life before they go out and do it, and you're following. It's so good, and it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so unhinged, it's so funny, but it also has a lot of heart to it. It's just really a good show, and it honestly blew me away this year. I was not expecting it to love it as much as I did. I also need a season 2 on that. My third favorite show might surprise you, but if it surprises you, it shows you that you know absolutely nothing about me. Raising Kanan. Okay, so over on Stars, Stars got all the nigga shows. It got all the nigga shows. And I hate to tell you, I tune into every single one. The only one that I don't tune into is whatever the hell they have going on with Tommy. If you don't watch this stuff, you have no clue what I'm talking about. But if you do, you my people. Whatever they got going on with Tommy, I'm not watching that. But when it comes to like Power Book 2, BMF, Raising Kanan, then nothing to do with that, you got P-Valley. Like, I tune into all of it. Like, you want to know, I literally always say this. It's like my stories. You know how your grandma watched the stories? Like, it's ridiculous. It's outlandish, but it gets you through the day. These are my nighttime stories, my nighttime soaps. Like, I turn it on. It's ridiculous. The acting is not the best, but it gets me to where I'm going. But the reason why Raising Kanan is on this list is because the acting is actually good. Raising Kanan is actually really, really good television. I don't care what anyone says. Raising Kanan is genuinely good. It's not like just mess type of good. It's genuinely good. The acting is really, really good. The storytelling is really, really good. Raising Kanan is my third favorite show of the year. The season finale of that show was one of my favorite episodes of TV all year. So I'm giving Raising Kanan her 10s. Raising Kanan is so good, and it is so good to see a dark-skinned woman leading a television show in 2022, 2023. So Raising Kanan is my show. I see the gripes with all the other shows. All the other shows Stars got going on. But Raising Kanan is good television. The next thing that goes on this list is Watchmen. I have a confession. Watchmen came out. I started watching Watchmen and never tuned back in. Have you ever watched the show and then it like you just stop one day and then you tell yourself you finished that show, but you actually never did. That's what Watchmen was to me. I went back and realized I never watched the show to the end of it. I never watched, and look, it didn't make sense why I didn't, because I was enjoying the show. It's just a bunch of stuff happened. Pandemic started to happen, because that's when around the time this came out. Just a lot of stuff happened. I never came back, but I came back. I watched it again from the beginning, because I had to refresh myself, and it was absolutely brilliant. Watchmen is with Regina King, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Gene Smart. Like, it was just brilliant. I don't even know what to tell you. Of course, everyone who was going to see Watchmen has seen Watchmen, but I'm here to tell you it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved all of it, and that's obviously why it is here on my list. The next thing that is on my list, HBO Max most of these shows are HBO shows, which is crazy. Issa Rae, come get yours. Rap Shit. Rap Shit is also on this list. I love the fuck out of Rap Shit. I am so ready for season 2 of Rap Shit. Rap Shit is about these two girls who live in Miami who have decided they are going to be a rap girl duo, and they're going to do anything to make it, and you are following them. This show is so good. This show is so good. Like, once again, you just have to know me to know what I like in a TV show. I like TV shows to be, to get me going, to get me feeling something. That's what Rap Shit did. I can't wait for season 2 of Rap Shit. Not enough people are talking about Rap Shit. You gotta get past the first episode of Rap Shit. I tell everybody this. You gotta get past the first episode of Rap Shit. The first episode of Rap Shit, you're not gonna be tuned in. You're gonna be like, what is all this going on? It's like through the telephone. I would have made different choices if I was the director of the TV show. But, once you do get past that, you get a really good TV show. The next thing we have is Girlfriends. I started watching Girlfriends in 2022. Here is the thing. I'm kind of old. I'm kind of a hag. I used to watch all those UPN shows. So all of us, 101, Girlfriends, all of that I used to watch on UPN when I was younger. But like, obviously I was a child, so I didn't really understand what was really going on. So now I got to watch Girlfriends with my adult eyes, and I loved it. Unpopular opinion, maybe I'm a Joan anti. So like, take that as you will. I said over on the Patreon, I might do a whole video on my opinions on Joan, but that's my thoughts with that over there. The next thing that is on this list, iCarly season 2, the reboot. iCarly has a reboot on Paramount Plus, and I watched season 2, and it's so fun. I'm so sorry. iCarly, the reboot, is actually really good. I don't care what anyone says. If you take it as like a new show and like new things, but you still have that little bit of a nostalgia attached to it, it's really good. And iCarly season 2, I watched all in like one weekend and enjoyed the hell out of it. It's the perfect show to put on while you're just on your computer and like you just want something on the TV. The next thing that was surprisingly good, Dexter, the reboot. Dexter got a reboot over on Showtime. And I know what you're saying, like, what the fuck? Like, no one asked for that, and you're probably right. I literally put off watching it forever, but I knew eventually I would get to it. I got to it. And there is about a 3-episode stretch in this television show that's so good. That's so good. Like, I am not putting things on this list because they are groundbreaking television. I've watched some groundbreaking television this year. Most of it's not on this list. Not because they weren't good. They were very good. They were very good. But it's just because you gotta really... These are the shows that like I got excited to really sit down and watch all year. The next thing that goes on this list is The Bear. The Bear. Hulu released The Bear, and it was such a fun time. I can't wait for The Bear season 2. I feel like it's only up from here. It's only going to get better. The Bear season 2, The Bear Really good. Can't wait for season 2. The last thing on my best of is The Watcher. Ryan Murphy, you got this one this time. The Watcher on Netflix is about these people who move into this house and their house is being watched and they get anonymous notes from someone. This show spooked me. This show spooked me. I was in it the entire time. I enjoyed watching The Watcher and I did not think that I was going to. So those are my best shows. I'm gonna go through my worst shows of the year. They're nothing crazy. They're just here. They're just here. I put Pam and Tommy on here because I was gonna do a whole Patreon video on how y'all exploit women and all of that stuff. And I watched a few episodes of Pam and Tommy and couldn't even get. I was trying to criticize the show and couldn't even get through the show because it was a fucking mess. Then we have The Staircase on HBO. Could have been great, but didn't miss the mark. The next thing is Good Girls. I watched the final season of Good Girls, and I am putting this on this list because Good Girls has always been on the brink of cancellation, and if you are on the brink of cancellation, you should always end a season of your show as if it's never going to come back. That's just common sense, and they didn't do that, and it's just like, now look, your show never has an ending. The next thing is Snowfall. I thought the last season of Snowfall was absolutely terrible, absolutely boring. Like, no. The next thing we have is Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta needs to chop it. Real Housewives of Atlanta is not good television. They do have to let it go. The next thing is The Ultimatum. Do y'all remember The Ultimatum? I did a whole video on it. The Ultimatum on Netflix. We have to let Nick Lachey, like, no longer in the director, the producer's room, because no, it's getting ridiculous. Like, the dating shows are getting ridiculous. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I get it. This is all for our entertainment, but how long are we gonna just play with people's real emotions, people's real relationships for our benefit? It's just not. That's why a lot of you wanted me to do a video on the last season of Love is Blind. I'm not watching that shit. Like, it's just getting a little bit tired. The next thing, let me tell y'all, over Thanksgiving, I wasn't feeling good. I was down in the dumps and I was laying in bed and I was trying to find something to watch on Hulu. And I said, you know what? This is the perfect time to watch The Kardashians. The Kardashians, the television show they have on Hulu. That shit is terrible. The Kardashians television show it's so boring. How are y'all watching this weekly? Are people watching the show weekly? It blew my mind how terrible that television show was. You guys, that television show is literally just them trying on outfits, trying on clothes, going to something. You guys, the Met Gala? Yes, the Met Gala where Kim dressed up as Marilyn Monroe. First of all, I forgot that fucking even happened. And then 2, takes up like half the season. And y'all, Courtney and Travis Barker are insufferable. I'm just going to say it. I don't know if they're insufferable. On the TV show, you can't stomach. Fast forward, literally you spend the entire television show fast forwarding. At the very least, I wanted something to come on here and talk mess about. You can't. It's just boring. The Kardashians is the worst television show that I watched. A show that I didn't watch that I'm putting on this list for the same reason I really didn't watch Pam and Tommy and it's on this list. Dahmer, yeah, chop. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here and then we'll do another video with my movie.